The Lindbergh Baby Kidnapping, 1932. Welcome to Echoes of Crime. This is the story you probably weren't taught in history class, a tale of mystery, madness, and one of the most bizarre crimes of the 20th century. Imagine being the most celebrated man in America, a hero whose name was known around the world, and then waking up to a nightmare that no amount of fame could stop. This is the story of Charles Lindbergh, the golden boy of aviation, and the chilling disappearance of his 20-month-old son in 1932. It's a case so strange, so twisted, that even today the truth remains buried under decades of speculation and controversy. March 1, 1932. The Lindbergh estate in Hopewell, New Jersey. It was supposed to be a quiet night, the kind where the wind rustles the trees and the stars flicker softly overhead. But inside the Lindbergh home, a storm was brewing. At 10 p.m., Betty Gow, the family's nurse, went to check on little Charles Lindbergh Jr., and what she found would change history forever: an empty crib and an open window. On the windowsill, there was a note. It demanded $50,000 and warned against involving the police. Outside, a homemade wooden ladder lay discarded beneath the window, and footprints trailed off into the darkness. It was like something out of a crime novel, except this was all too real. When news of the kidnapping broke, America went into a frenzy. This wasn't just any child. This was the son of Charles Lindbergh, the first man to fly solo across the Atlantic. The press went wild, the public was obsessed, and every development became front-page news. As the search for baby Charles intensified, the Lindberghs followed the kidnappers' instructions to the letter. They even enlisted the help of Al Capone. Yes, that Al Capone, who offered his criminal networks resources from behind bars. But weeks passed with no sign of the baby. Then came the discovery no one wanted. On May 12, 1932, the body of Charles Lindbergh Jr. was found in the woods not far from the family's home. The child had been dead for weeks, his body battered and decomposed. The nation's collective hope shattered in an instant. The search for justice was swift and brutal. Bruno Richard Hauptmann, a German immigrant, was arrested after police traced part of the ransom money to him. The evidence piled up. His handwriting allegedly matched the ransom notes, and the wood from the kidnapper's ladder was said to come from his attic. But here's where things get weird. Hauptmann insisted he was innocent. Witnesses offered conflicting statements. Key evidence was mishandled. And yet, the trial steamrolled forward, with the press painting Hauptmann as a monster. In 1936, he was executed in the electric chair, but doubts about his guilt have lingered ever since. If you think that's the end of the story, think again. Over the years, a parade of theories has emerged. Some believe the kidnapping was an inside job, with members of the Lindbergh household involved. Others point to organized crime or political cover-ups. And then there's Charles Lindbergh himself, a man who controlled the investigation so tightly that some wonder if he knew more than he let on. One theory even suggests the baby's death was an accident, covered up to protect someone close to the family. The twists and turns are endless, and the truth remains maddeningly out of reach. The Lindbergh baby kidnapping wasn't just a crime, it was a national obsession. It led to the creation of new federal laws on kidnapping and changed the way America viewed crime and celebrity. But more than that, it left behind a trail of unanswered questions and a legacy of heartbreak. So was Bruno Richard Hauptmann really guilty? Or did the real mastermind slip away into the shadows? Nearly a century later, the case still captures our imagination, because sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. The more you dig into the Lindbergh case, the more unsettling details you find. Charles Lindbergh was not just a national hero, he was a man with some deeply controversial beliefs. He was a staunch advocate of eugenics, the pseudoscience of selective breeding to create a so-called superior race. This has led some to question his role in the case, wondering if his rigid views on perfection played a darker part in his son's disappearance. And then there's the disturbing detail of Lindbergh's own behavior. On the night of the kidnapping, he claimed to have heard nothing, despite the window being open and the ladder breaking outside. Was his silence merely shock, or something more sinister? One of the most overlooked figures in this case is Violet Sharp, a maid in the Lindbergh household. Sharp's behavior after the kidnapping was erratic. She gave conflicting statements and appeared deeply anxious. Before police could question her further, she took her own life by ingesting poison. Her sudden death only deepened the cloud of suspicion around the household. The ransom notes themselves remain one of the most baffling aspects of the case. The handwriting was strange, almost deliberately disguised, and the language used was a peculiar mix of German and English. Despite forensic analysis, the true author of these notes has never been definitively proven. Could they have been written by someone trying to frame Hauptmann? Or was there an even larger conspiracy at play? The Lindbergh baby kidnapping changed America forever. It led to the passage of the Federal Kidnapping Act, also known as the Lindbergh Law, which made kidnapping a federal crime. It also marked the beginning of America's obsession with high-profile criminal cases and media sensationalism. But beyond the legal and cultural impact, this case remains an unsolved puzzle. With every piece of evidence, there's a new question. And as the years pass, the truth seems to slip further away, leaving us with a story that's as haunting as it is unforgettable.
Thank you for watching Echoes of Crime. If you found this story as chilling and fascinating as we did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, stay safe and keep an eye on the shadows.